Good morning, parents. This is Mr. Cortez, Reading and Language Arts and Social Studies at Booker T. Washington. And I am creating a quick video to show you around Canvas because I think there's some confusion or some of the parents aren't very well informed of what work their student should be doing daily, right? So, one of the first things I want to pull up is the class schedule for the students. And hopefully, we can see this. So, just a heads up if you're wondering why these are in blue, that is in blue because that is work and time that the students should be working independently. They should be working on their own. So they will not be in Zoom, but they do have an assignment that they should be working on during that time. So if your child says, hey, we're done after lunch, that is not true. Okay, for two reasons. They should be working independently, but they also have an art or band time at 1:45. So starting at the top, as most of y'all know, students in sixth grade have PE with coach first thing in the day from 8:10 to 9. And then their first class begins. If it is my homeroom group, then we have reading first, right? There's a 15-minute break, and then there's the second class. So if they start with me, then they would go on Zoom with Miss Dennis, right? And if they start with Miss Dennis, then they go with me during that group B time. And we're changing the schedule a little bit because we are now having students enter the school. So that time actually ends at 12. And so they have a break from lunch for about 45 minutes. This intervention time, as I mentioned, that is work that the student should be doing every single day independently. And that work is made so that the students, no matter what level they're at, they can be successful in that work. 1:45, students have art. If they pick band, then they would have an earlier schedule. Okay, and at 2:35, from 2:35 to 3:20, the students will be working on a social studies assignment. So let me show you where that work is at. So we're talking about reading. That is obviously and easily going to be found in the reading class, right? So let me go ahead and switch tabs. So this is what the reading class looks like. Okay, sixth grade reading language arts. Okay, and there's my name, there's my contact information, my email address, office hours, and then we also have the links, the Zoom links to all of the students' teachers. Okay. What I don't have in there is art, just because some students have art, some students do not. But those students already have that link. It should be in their inbox. And speaking of inbox, inbox is where we message the students directly. And it's going to be on your left hand side. There's a bar, a blue bar, and there's going to be a almost looks like a envelope with the letter in it. And so this is basically sending messages through Canvas. You can't see this right now because I'm in student mode, so it'll deny me access. But keep in mind, be checking your child's inbox regularly because we also do send messages there to the students about work that is missing, important things coming up. Of course, we will mention that in class as well, but some students may not be attending regularly. So we want to make sure that they have that information. So that's one place to look for it. Now, in reading, as I mentioned, if they're in my home group, they're going to have reading first. Eventually, all students will have reading during the day. Click on modules, okay, and you're going to see two modules. Modules are like folders that you can open up. So most of our reading work is going to be here. It's just broken up into weeks. I got rid of week 4, got rid of week 3, right? Since that's closed and kids cannot do that work anymore. It's a folder, so you click on the arrow, it'll drop down. This is specific to what we're doing today in reading, Monday. So each one of these is a graded assignment. So we're going to have identifying needs, we're going to have our we can highlight, and then I'm going to go over how to do CNN 10, which is social studies, because we have some students that seem to be confused. Now, this intervention folder, this intervention modules up here, is the work that the students will be doing during this intervention time right there from 12:45 to 1:45. So I'm going to open that up. Okay. And I'm going to put 3 assignments in there. It's barely Monday, so they have 1. So these 3 assignments, there's only 3 out of a 5-day week. So students are given the opportunity that this is the only thing where students have up until Friday to turn it in. I'm not checking it daily. I'm giving them the option, okay, if you want to work on 2 in one day, then that's fine. Okay. I don't suggest working on all 3 in one day. But eventually, you'll see 2 more assignments in there for a total of 3. Okay, this is interventions work. It is what we call no red ink. Let me go ahead and click on that. It's a little slow. And so this is what it looks like. It's grammar practice. A lot of our students, actually all of our students, are behind in grammar. So right now we're taking it back and we're going to capitalization skills. The students click on this link and it'll take them to their no red ink assignment and they can go ahead and practice there. Okay, going back to modules. So that's it for what's in our reading class. So they have interventions, they have our assignments. Okay. If you are not sure if your student has turned in an assignment, you can simply go ahead and click in there and let's wait for that to open up. You'll be able to see if they submitted it and you'll be able to see if they have a grade. And if I put any comments because of the type of work that they turned in, you're going to see it there as well. Okay. So this we haven't worked on, so you're not going to see much in there, but you should see comments on the upper right hand corner. Okay. So that's a very quick and easy way to know if your child has done the work and what type of quality of work they're doing. If I refer back to the schedule, down here in blue, we have science and social studies. Okay, so science and social studies, it's going to be social studies for my class. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and leave student view so I can jump into the social studies class real quick. Go back into student view. There we go. That's what the students see. So you see another home page with contact information. This is social studies, so you go into modules. Internet's a little slow, so there we go. Okay, and so they are going to have 5 CNN 10 assignments during the week, one for each day. This assignment is due that day. They don't have the option of trying to do all 5 by the end of the week. This is assigned daily because, as we mentioned, they should be working on it during this time down here. So CNN 10. Students should definitely be successful doing CNN 10 because our introduction to our reading class is watching CNN 10 together and discussing the news for that day. Because if they have any questions, it's important to ask because their assignment for social studies has to do with what we watched. So every day, the kids are going to have the link to that day's CNN 10. They have their instructions. These pretty much always stay the same. And what changes are the instructions on number 4. So I go ahead and explain that every single day, even though they're going to work on that on their own later on, and they're very familiar with it at this point. And I also have down here an example of what the work should look like when they turn it in. This is important because I still have some students that are turning in one sentence or half a sentence, an incomplete sentence, right? But every social studies assignment will show them what that work should look like by the time that they turn it in. When students are ready to put in their work, they hit submit assignment. That's going to open up a text box. You go ahead and put their work in here, which once again should look similar to this. And then they hit submit assignment again. Students always have the option of resubmitting the assignment, and sometimes I will ask the students to resubmit the assignment depending on how well they did on that work. If it is not what was asked of them, then I ask that they do it again as another chance instead of receiving a 0. Okay. Hopefully that clears some things up. Going back to the schedule, they have reading and math every single day. They should be working on interventions every day from 12:45 to 1:45, going to their Zoom session for art, and then be working on science and social studies at the end of the day. If students do that, then by Friday, they should have everything submitted. And if they have anything to catch up on, they can probably use that time as well because these assignments are actually very short and most of them do not last 30 or 40 minutes. Well, if y'all have any questions, feel free to contact me. My information is always in the home page. Let me go to that again. I have my email, cell phone number, and you can always inbox me here on the left side. Thank you very much.